So, welcome everyone. I hope you're all safe, all well, and ready today to explore the beautiful Amalfi Coast. I wasn't at all surprised that there were so many people subscribing for today's webinar because the Amalfi Coast is such an amazing part of Italy that it's definitely worth a visit. I don't know how many times I've been there, probably 5 or 6, starting since when I was a kid, and then, as an adult too. I've never brought my kids there, so I'll have to do it next time. So our journey today will lead us through that stretch of mountainous coast that sits between Naples and Salerno, and basically encompasses the arm of the Sorrento Peninsula. So the Amalfi Coast is one of the most renowned tourist destinations in the whole of Italy and draws thousands of tourists every year. As usual, we have a guest speaker today that will delight us with a live from Amalfi. So I'm really looking forward to speak with Flavia Rinaldi from Grand Hotel Convento di Amalfi later and see some of those amazing views. So let's get started. So as usual, we are following our format, going through the why, where, when, and who of the destination. So why the Amalfi Coast? Well, this beautiful stretch of coastline that winds its way from Sorrento to Salerno is absolutely unique and like nowhere else in the world. Its colorful villages are surrounded by cliffs and scattered with plenty of lemon groves. There are steep, narrow lanes that move up and down these kind of vertical landscape, and they all offer incredible views of the Mediterranean Sea down below. While when you're sitting in those little lively piazzettas, they just invite you to relax and just enjoy the beauty that surrounds you. Just enjoy a little bit of Italian style, of that dolce vita, that Italy is so famous for. But where is the Amalfi Coast? I really love this map, and so I thought this time I would do something a little bit different from my usual photo here, because I think it really gives you an idea of the Amalfi Coast and all the beautiful things that you have around it. So the Amalfi Coast exactly begins at Punta Campanella, which is around here, if you can see my pointers, and continues along the south of the Sorrento Peninsula to Vietri sul Mare. Almost all the coastal towns are located along what's called the Amalfitana Road that begins in the hills of Piano di Sorrento and ends in Vietri sul Mare. The town of Amalfi is located about halfway through, and along this road that was built between the 1832 and the 1850. But before that time, there were only rough mule trucks running between the villages. And today, these are used as hiking trails, including the famed Path of the Goat, Il Sentiero degli Dei. So to reach this area of the Campania region, most visitors fly into Naples and then take either a private transfer, a rental car, or the Circumvesuviana train line, which connects Naples through Ercolanum, Pompeii, and then in Sorrento. It is a bit scruffy, but it is fairly efficient and extremely cheap. So unless you have a passion for all those zigzag bends and buses swinging at you from the opposite direction, well, probably you should avoid renting a car, and because driving through the Amalfi Coast can be quite of an hectic experience. There is a very good network of ferries that connects the coastal towns along the Amalfi Coast with Salerno, Sorrento, and Capri. And while connections to Naples and Ischia can be made again via Sorrento and Capri. So since Capri and Ischia are two gorgeous islands that can easily be reached from the Amalfi Coast, I have decided to include them in this presentation, although they are not exactly on the Amalfi Coast. But I mean, you can see them here that are quite close by. So what to do in the Amalfi Coast? Well, the Costiera is much more than just those blue secluded bays and amazing views and picturesque villages. It is culture, art, history, amazing food as usual. And as I was saying before, all is wrapped up in this dolce vita atmosphere. You know, you have this feeling of being in the 50s, the 60s. This area of southern Italy offers an array of activities to keep everyone entertained, from those little picturesque villages to explore, the small coves where you can hide away from the crowds, boat tours, obviously, to enjoy the views from the sea. I mean, enjoying Positano, Amalfi, Sorrento, seen from the sea. It's kind of unbelievable. And then plenty of hiking trails, as we said, and they're always in views of the sea, obviously the Mediterranean Sea. But then you also have places to relax and enjoy those romantic sunsets and the delicious food and drinks like the limoncello. So there's something for everyone. So let's get started from Sorrento. Well, Sorrento is the getaway to the Amalfi Coast, and it is renowned for its beautiful scenery and its range of gorgeous building and coastal walks. As you can see, all those buildings are built on a cliff. This beautiful and culturally rich town makes for the perfect base for exploring the area and is absolutely worthy a longer stay on its own. You can soak up the southern Italian charm in the historical center, an alluring maze of narrow alleyways and quaint piazzas that are animated by pretty sidewalk cafes. You can take a stroll along Marina Grande and enjoy fresh seafood in one of the many waterfront restaurants. Or you can stop by the romantic Villa Comunale Park for the most astonishing views of the Mount Vesuvio. Plus, don't leave town without visiting I Giardini di Cataldo, which is one of Italy's most esteemed lemon groves. The city is also home to beautiful palazzi, a couple of petite volcanic sandy beach, and plenty of workshops and galleries which specialize in handcraft marquetry. In addition to those stunning views of the ocean, diving, sea fishing, and amazing food, Sorrento is also the birthplace of limoncello. So be sure to taste the refreshing liquor and maybe grab a bottle to bring home if you have space in your luggage. Sorrento is also the perfect town to visit if you just have one day to spare for your Amalfi Coast trip, since it can easily be reached from Naples. So if you have clients that have one day at the end of their trip and they are in Naples, they are leaving from Naples, they can easily take a train down to Sorrento or take a private transfer down to Sorrento and enjoy, you know, one day on the Amalfi Coast. Sondra, yes, this video will be available at some point on YouTube, probably in the next few days, and then I'm happy for you to share it on social media. So, next from Sorrento is Nerano. Sorrento, Nerano, as I said, the start of the Amalfi Coast is Punta Campanella, and close to Punta Campanella is the fishing village of Nerano, whose beaches sit exactly in the center of Punta Campanella Natural Marine Reserve. Its rocky seabed and clear waters are an absolute favorite among scuba divers. But be careful, because according to Greek mythology, this is where the sirens sang to tempt Ulysses. So, well, you may want to be careful if you go diving in Nerano. Well, both Nerano and Sant'Agata dei Due Golfi, which is a tiny little village inland, are culinary wonders as well. In fact, if you are in Nerano, make sure not to miss Nerano's legendary spaghetti with zucchini pesto. So pesto is usually made with basil. Well, in Nerano, they made it with zucchini, so courgette. This part of the Amalfi Coast is perfect if you are a foodie, if you don't mind being outside the center of the action, because, I mean, we're still at the very start of the Amalfi Coast, and if you want some price options that range between cheap and chic. So, you know, you can go both ends of the scale in this area of the Amalfi Coast. And then, well, most popularly known as the Path of the Gods, which is literally the Sentiero degli Dei, your journey to the Amalfi Coast is absolutely incomplete if you don't experience this fantastic hike. Known for its spectacular views, this hike starts at Agerola and ends in Positano. Well, as you can see, it's not one of those hiking trails for the faint at heart, but it's absolutely worth it. The hikes usually take from 2.5 hours to 3.5 hours, really depending on your experience, but it's quite an easy hike, mainly if you start from Agerola. I mean, even kids can do it. In order to reach the highest points, it can be an all-day strenuous climb straight up the mountain. But if you start near Amalfi and then end at Nocelle, which is just above Positano, it can take longer. So my suggestion is to start the Sentiero degli Dei is to reach Agerola, either by private transfer or by one of the buses that run by the Sita company, which depart from Amalfi. You can ask the driver, the bus driver, to let you off at the Bomerano stop. From here, you just follow the road signs, which lead you to the start of the walk. You can also start the Sentiero degli Dei from Praiano if you want, but from there, you have to climb up a long flight of steps to reach the Colle Serra Pass, some 580 meters above the sea level. So it's quite a hike on those steps. Agerola, the village where I suggest you to start the trail, is also famous for its fior di latte, which is a unique type of fresh mozzarella cheese. So before you start the walk, you can stop off in one of the town's salumeria, grocery store, where you can purchase focaccia and fior di latte, and these will absolutely sustain you during the journey. I mean, it's absolutely the perfect ingredient for a picnic worthy of the gods. Please make sure, if you have clients that want to do this, that the path is not suitable for those who suffer from vertigo. So just a warning. I mean, these are the views, quite impressive. Positano. Well, Positano is the quintessential Amalfi Coast village with gorgeous views and delightful pastel-colored houses. It has a beautiful sandy beach, busy seaside bars, and an even busier nightlife, plenty of fancy boutique, and is understandably a spot to splurge a little and treat yourself. I mean, if you go to Positano, you definitely want to treat yourself with spending some money in some night boutiques and maybe enjoy some fancy restaurants. You need to be prepared to climb a lot of steps while you are in Positano, especially if you have plans to enjoy the beach and then take in some pretty spectacular views from the top of the hill. It really is one of the best things to do in the Amalfi Coast because, I mean, the views from up there are absolutely amazing, and wandering around the village is quite unique. However, if you really want to admire the town, probably the best view is from the sea. So you can take a boat tour and just enjoy the panorama of these houses from the sea. Half public and half private, Positano's main beach, which is called Spiaggia Grande, with its black sand, clear blue waters, and tight rows of loungers and umbrellas, looks like it's coming out of a 50s postcard. I mean, believe me, it's really quintessentially Italian dolce vita. If you want a vacation in luxury with a few celebrity and a busy nightlife, then Positano is absolutely the place to be, and you won't be disappointed. But just 10 minutes away from Positano, but much quieter and more laid back, is the village of Praiano. Once known for its silk production and for being a summer residence of the Amalfi Dukes, Praiano is today a gorgeous resort, as well as a center for the arts. You can visit the rocky beach of La Gavitella and take in the amazing views from there. But you can also spend some quiet time visiting Chiesa di San Luca Evangelista and admiring the splendid Maiolica tiled floors. Well, you always want a break from the beach, you know, and something more to do. In Praiano, the houses are staggered on the cliffside, as you can see, and the road leading through Proiano winds back and forth until reaching a small harbor. Proiano is also the town with the most dramatic sunset of the Amalfi Coast. You can spend the day lazing on Marina di Praia beach, which is one of the most famous beach, and spend the evening dining in the shade of lemon trees at one of the pretty restaurants in town. If you want non-stop beach time, you don't want to be near all the major transportation, I mean like a major hub that can bring you in all the villages of the Amalfi Coast, and you are looking for a very romantic spot on the Amalfi Coast, well, then probably Proiano is the right choice for you. Let's leave Proiano and move towards the Amalfi itself. Well, along the coast, we find the little village of Furore, which is often overlooked, but it has a great deal of attraction, and it's a fantastic place to visit in the central section of the Amalfi Coast. The roads leading up to Furore are quite spectacular and race past dramatic limestone cliffs and row upon row of terrace packed full of gorgeous vines. Within the confines of this town, you can find a selection of beautifully painted murals decorating the walls of some of the houses and shops. And these murals have been hand-painted and show some colorful depiction of life on the Amalfi Coast. But Furore's most spectacular feature is the narrow gorge called Fiordo di Furore, which was created by the ancient Schianto River and surrounded by soaring cliff rising from the sea. And Furore is the only fjord in Italy, and it is usually a quiet spot where you can escape the crowds. So while it is not the easiest place to get due to the very steep stairs, it is definitely worth the effort. Let me just answer another question. How many days would you recommend staying to these towns again? Well, definitely, John, 7 to 10 days in the area is perfect if you really want to explore and to have a sense of all the Amalfi Coast. I mean, not just the highlights, the usual Sorrento, Positano, and Amalfi. But obviously, if you don't have enough time, then 5 days, 6 days will be enough to see just the main highlights. But 10 days will give you the possibility to see much, much more. Now we leave Furore. And before we reach Amalfi, we find a cluster of all Mediterranean-style houses grouped on a dramatic promontory 400 meters above sea level. And this is Conca dei Marini, which has long been a very romantic destination for people like Jacqueline Kennedy, Princess Margaret of England, Carolina di Monaco, and the Queen of Holland, that all vacation here in the past. Although, apart from these, I mean, although these, very popular visitors, the village still feels surprisingly quiet and traditional. Its beautifully preserved Mediterranean architecture with Moorish and Greek influences recalls the town's past, and the beach is virtually tourist-free. Really, is not that popular at all. One of the main features of Conca dei Marini, though, is the Grotta dello Smeraldo, the Emerald Grotto, which is a splendid sea cave famous for its surreal shades of green and underwater ceramic nativity scene, which becomes a pilgrimage site for divers each Christmas. So there is the nativity underwater, and each Christmas there are plenty of divers that just decide to go there and enjoy it. It's quite unique, really. The Emerald Cave is a natural phenomenon and is one of the most beautiful caves in the whole of Italy. The cave can be accessed by an elevator from the main road, and then you can climb on one of the boats for a guided tour of this superb natural subterranean environment, which is absolutely worth a visit. And well, a trip to the Amalfi Coast is incomplete without a stopover in Amalfi. What was once the capital of a powerful maritime republic is now a beautiful coastal town. You can relax and soak up some sunshine by the wide and pebbly Marina Grande beach, the liveliest and most famous beach in the area. Or you can add to the tiny cove of Santa Croce if the Marina Grande beach is too busy for you. If lazing around isn't quite what you're looking for here, you can then head over to the spectacular 11th century Cathedral of Sant'Andrea, or spend the afternoon in the Chiostro del Paradiso. The front facade of the cathedral is magnificent, and it is covered in an opulent striped stonework pattern. On the busy promenade, you can find shops selling handmade paper and limoncello, while the sunny piazzettas entice tourists with alfresco cafes serving traditional homemade cakes and espresso, obviously. If you want to be right in the middle of the Amalfi Coast for easy travel to the other towns, and also want to spend a lot of time on amazing beaches, plus have the possibility of enjoying art, architecture, and history, well then Amalfi gives you all of this. And we will see more of it later with Flavia. It's just beautiful, and that's the cathedral. If you need a break from all the busier towns, then you can head over to the beautiful Atrani. This is one of the best places in the Amalfi Coast just to chill and relax. And even though it's pretty close to Amalfi, the vibe here is drastically different and much more laid back. A little bit like Praiano for Positano, I would say. If you plan to visit, make sure to leave the car behind and explore Atrani on foot. Once you're here, you can check out the medieval architecture, eat in one of the many trattorias, go people watching in Piazza Umberto I, or just chill by the small black sandy beach. Village life here revolves around Piazza Umberto I, which is this pretty central square, and is surrounded with colorful old houses, flowered balconies, ancient churches, and an atmospheric passageways that provides a picturesque backdrop for whatever brings you to southern Italy. If you just want a couple of relaxing hours in the warm Italian sunshine, you can head to the beach or sit down for an Aperol Spritz and a delicious seafood meal in one of the sidewalk cafes. It's just the place to go and relax. And then we arrive in Ravello. Well, Ravello is another one of those spots in the Amalfi Coast that's long been the playground of the rich and famous. And it's easy to see why once you're there. It has fantastic views from the fascinating gardens of Villa Cimbrone and the fantastic atmosphere in Piazza del Vescovado. Well, Ravello will easily find its way to the top of your favorite places to visit in Italy, probably. If you're here during the summer, you must attend the annual Ravello Music Festival at Villa Ruffolo. And it's a site, it's a Romanesque villa, which is also a UNESCO World Heritage, and offers possibly one of the best views available. And it is a fantastic place to simply relax, enjoy the views, and bask in the gorgeous sunshine. I mean, the gardens are absolutely stunning. Ravello can be found on the top of the mountains in between Amalfi and Maiori. And it is much more relaxed and reserved than the other busy tourist locations. The village offers a range of restaurants with outdoor terraces that provide an absolutely romantic setting for an evening meal. And the Piazza Centrale is worth a visit to see the beautiful cathedral and the Ravello Art Gallery. Of all the wonderful towns and villages along the Amalfi Coast, perhaps known as so much culture and it's so romantic and refined than Ravello. So if you want peace and quiet, and you don't mind not being directly on the beach, then Ravello is definitely your choice. Well, if you love pasta, I mean, who doesn't? I definitely do. Then you will love Minori. Once filled with pasta-making factories, Minori, also called the City of Flavor, is today a UNESCO site and a must-visit while you are in the Amalfi Coast. there is something about its narrow alleys and old buildings, especially the first century Roman villa that's called Convento di San Nicola, that will take you back in time. But coming back to the pasta, what you really need to try here are the ndunderi, which are kind of ravioli, and the scialatielli, which is fresh pasta ribbons. They are absolutely lip-smacking delicacies that you have to try. And if you want a dessert, then you can grab a delizie al limone at the famous pastry Sal del Riso, which is, I mean, probably one of the most famous in all the Amalfi Coast. It is definitely a beautiful area of the Amalfi Coast to explore for the food. And then if you curve around a small bay, right in the end of the costiera, you will end up in Maiori, its sister town, the sister town of Minori. The historic town has tons of character, so much so that Rossellini chose this town as the background for 4 of his movies. Think ancient towers, old castles, and amazing churches filled with art. Maiori is also where you will find Amalfi Coast's longest beach and some amazing seafood. If you're up for a spot of shopping, you can head to Corso Regina, the main street, which is full of unique boutiques and stores. Well, if you're traveling with children and looking for family-friendly atmosphere, and you're not interested in nightclubs, and you're probably hoping for a beach with some spaces in between umbrellas, which is not easy to find on the Amalfi Coast, then Minori and Maiori are 2 great choices for you. And I mean, the views are absolutely amazing. Tucked in a secluded valley, bounded by the Latai Mountains, there is Erchie, which is a tiny fishing hamlet of less than 100 souls. Its laid-back atmosphere, idyllic bays, and minuscule alleys basked in citrus flavors provide a quaint backdrop to your Amalfi Coast vacation. The village is part of the municipality of Maiori, and its 2 adorable beaches are separated by an imposing 13th century Norman tower, which is just sitting into the sea. If you have reached Erchie, you have to make a stop in Cetara too. This is one of the most authentic and unspoiled villages on the Amalfi Coast. The small settlement has not been affected by tourism and retains virtually all of its original charm. So if you want to see what the towns of Amalfi looked like before the area became filled with tourist attraction, then this is the place to visit. Furthermore, Cetara has the only fishing fleet that still operates in the region, and you can watch the fishermen in action in their small, brightly colored boats. Aside from the fishing activities, Cetara also has a range of high-quality restaurants that serve delicious fresh seafood, obviously. So if you're looking for a good value along the Amalfi Coast, you can definitely find some affordable option in Cetara and a truly authentic atmosphere. And now we reach Vietri sul Mare. Well, visiting Vietri sul Mare is like walking through an open-air museum. Famous worldwide for its stunning handmade ceramic painted in sunny seaside colors, the town's high candy historical center is a treasure trove of colorful boutiques and workshop displaying pottery in every pattern and style you can think of. However, shopping for ceramic is not the only reason to visit this seaside town. In fact, a picturesque seashore, an exquisite Maiolica dome church, and 6 charming hilltop hamlets complete the charm of Vietri sul Mare. Additionally, the summer years are jam-packed with festivals and events. So if you want to avoid tourists at all costs and are a lover of fine ceramics, plus you're looking for a simply seaside holiday, you don't want all the hustle and bustle of Positano or Amalfi, then Vietri is one of your best options. This is technically the Amalfi Coast, as I said. However, the glamorous island of Capri is just a short It's a short day trip from the Amalfi Coast, and it's an absolutely must visit when you are in the area. Think cascading bougainvilleas, whitewash houses, turquoise waters, and beautiful blue views wherever you look. It's absolutely amazing here and so worth the trip. These islands can be reached via regular ferries from several of the coastal towns on the Amalfi Coast, but you can also reach them with a boat tour, which could be private. Just bear in mind that boats usually can take up to 8 guests. Some of them can take 10. If you have a larger party, you would need to take 2 boats, even if you're not planning on sleeping on the boats, obviously. So you think, well, I can squeeze 12 people. That's for insurance purposes. Most companies will not allow more than 8 or 10 guests on board. But you can also do a shared tour, a share boat tour. So if you have a couple and they don't want to spend the money of paying for a private boat tour, they can just join another group. There won't be more than 8 or 10 people on the boat, as I said. So that's definitely an option too. And on the boat tour, you usually visit some of the small bays, secluded bays. You have time to go snorkeling, to just swim in the water, and then you reach Capri, and then there you can take a tuk-tuk up to the piazzetta and enjoy, some times and some shopping there. Whatever you're doing, wherever you are reaching the Capri, the island, just consider. Just ensure that you stay through the evening so that you can admire the beautiful views. At night, Capri has a vibrant nightlife, and the main square has a handful of bustling bars and a superb atmosphere. Also, if the sea is calm, you can visit the famous Blue Grotto. This cave complex is absolutely stunning and make it for an unforgettable experience. You cannot purchase ticket in advance because it really depends on the sea condition, if you can get into the grotto or not. So usually on your boat tour, the boat will bring you at the entrance, and from there you have to board onto a smaller wooden boat that will bring you inside, and you can pay the ticket when you're there. And then lastly for today is Ischia. Well, as I said, it's not part of the Amalfi Coast again, but since I was mentioning Capri, I thought I would add Ischia too. The volcanic outcrop of Ischia is the most developed and largest of the island in the Bay of Naples. An early colony of the Magna Graecia, first settled in the 8th century before Christ, Ischia today is famed for its thermal spas, manicure gardens, striking Aragonese castle, which is absolutely amazing, and straightforward Italian atmosphere. A feature also reflected in its food. Ischia is kind of the opposite of the glitzy Capri. So here you can find Italians on holiday during the summer, which is something that you probably won't find as much on Capri. Most visitors head straight for the north coast towns of Ischia Porto, Ischia Ponte, Forio, and Lacomeno. Of these, Ischia Porto boasts the best bars, while Forio and Lacomeno have the prettiest spas and gardens. On the calmer south coast instead, the carefree perfection of Sant'Angelo offers a blend of a cozy harbor and lazy beaches. In between the coast lies a less trodden landscape of chestnut forest, vineyards, and volcanic rock, all loomed over by Monte Epomeo, which is Ischia's highest peak. And it's now time to go to Amalfi. So let me, so let me look for Flavia. Flavia, I lost you. I think we just lost the connection with Flavia. Let's wait for Flavia to join us again. Oh, she was there until I was in Ischia. Bear with me. Let's see if Flavia can reconnect. If you have any question in the meantime, please fire them away. Okay. So I'm waiting for Flavia to reconnect because I can't find her. What I can do in the meantime, while we wait for Flavia, is I can just finish with my other slides so we don't go too far. Yes, Sondra, is being recorded, and I will send the recording to all of you as soon as I'm able to upload it to YouTube. Yes, 2 nights in each town would be enough. And what you can do, John, you can even, let's say, Sorrento is an ideal base when you arrive, because you arrive from Naples, you arrive, you know, usually on an early flight, so you can go down Sorrento. If you're not too tired, you can stop by in Pompeo and Ercolano already before arriving in Sorrento, or you can go straight down to Sorrento. You can spend a couple of days there and then move towards Positano, again a couple of days, and then from there you can move to Amalfi. And while you are in Positano and Amalfi, then you can visit some of the smaller villages. You can go on an hiking trail, you can see the Sentiero degli Dei, you can take the boat tour to Capri, or what you can do is you can do all of these and then take a boat, or take a ferry actually, go to Capri and spend a couple of nights in Capri as well. And then from there, go back to Sorrento and go back to Naples. So those are the main base if you want to, you know, to hop and off in all the various towns. But if you want to just stay in one place and wander around, then if you don't have much problem with budgets, then I would probably stay in Positano. But you know, that could be quite pricey. Otherwise, Sorrento and Amalfi are 2 great options. Does it make sense to go to Capri and then to go to Ischia? Well, they're quite, Capri and Ischia are very different one from the other. As I was saying, Capri is very glamorous. You have all those wonderful boutiques, you have amazing restaurants, there is a gelateria, which I always dream about. You can smell the fresh waffle that they make basically from the piazzetta. While Ischia is much more of an authentic experience. So you usually go there just if you really want to spend some time on the island as Italians would do. And because that's where all the Italians will probably spend their holidays, you know, more than in Capri itself. But obviously, I mean, if you want to do both, I would probably do Ischia first and then Capri. No, there's no transport. No, there's no ferry directly from Capri to Ischia, which means that you will have to go back to Sorrento or to Naples and then go back from there. Let's see if Flavia managed to join us again. I can't see her. That's very strange. I don't understand what happened to Flavia, because she was there throughout the webinar. Okay, so let's me go ahead with my slides, and I'll keep an eye to see if Flavia reconnects. So, when to go to the Amalfi Coast? Well, it's all about good timing on the Amalfi Coast. Many hotels, restaurants, and attractions are closed from November until Easter. The peak summer months see those narrow coastal roads quite clogged, soaring temperatures, and absolutely tons of tourists. So it's usually best to avoid July and August if you can. While the spring and autumn are wonderful in this region. Spring for its swaths of bright white flower, and autumn for the warm sea and the plentiness of seasonal produce, which include mushroom, black truffles, and chestnuts. So depending on what type of travelers you have, I mean, what type of experience you want to achieve, then these will make you, you can choose the right season to go to the Amalfi Coast. And who is it for? Well, every year, there are about 5 million of people that crowd onto the Amalfi Coast to experience its UNESCO World Heritage and sample its mouth-watering cuisine and walk in the footsteps of celebrity past and present. The secret to enjoying your visit isn't going where your friends are or where the guidebooks tell you to go, but it's finding out exactly which of the numerous Amalfi Coast towns fits your style and style of travel. I can see that Flavia is back. Flavia, great. I'm just finishing with my slides that I went ahead because I was waiting for you. So just one slide and I'll pass everything to you. So as I was saying, you really need to find what you're looking for. And then this will make you choose the right spot on the Amalfi Coast. So despite existing shoulder to shoulder for hundreds of years, there is a surprising amount of variation between the towns of the Amalfi Coast. If you prefer the hustle and bustle of Positano, well, or the sleepy, laid-back vibe of Conca dei Marini. So are you looking for a big sunny beach like the one on Maiori, or would you be happier in the mountain solitude or of an inland village? Before you start planning your tour of the Amalfi Coast, you need to think carefully of the type of holiday that you're looking for and then plan accordingly, because there is absolutely something for everyone. So now let me find Flavia, because she was there. I saw her 2 seconds ago. Oh gosh, we lost her again. Not sure what happening. Okay, so we lost her again. Let me just do one thing. Okay, okay, so I'll just go ahead with my last slide. So my top tips: if you want to explore the area without changing hotels every 2 days, then base yourself in Sorrento and use the buses or the ferries to go around. While visiting Positano or Capri, check the boutique that make custom-made sandals. You can get them done in a few hours and they're absolutely gorgeous. Flavia, hold on there, I can see you. If you have to choose just one moment to visit during your tour, just one monument to visit during your tour, that should be the Amalfi's Duomo, the towering cathedral that dominates the main piazza of the town. Then definitely head to Ravello and enjoy the best views from the gardens of Villa Ruffolo, and take at least one boat tour, whether along the coast or to visit Capri or Ischia. So now I can see Flavia. So Flavia, I can see you. Let me stop sharing my screen. Okay. Not sure if we can hear you, Flavia. Let me just, I'll do what I did early, Flavia. I'll change your role and then I'll change you back. So we'll see if the audio works. So you should be in here now. Nope. What happened? Where is Flavia? Yes. Okay. So allow to talk. Flavia, can you hear me? Flavia. I don't know what happening today. What's happening? Okay. I can see your screen. So we can see you, Flavia, but we can't hear you. Oh, I love your mask. I want one like that too. Not sure what's happening today with our connection. Flavia, can you hear me? Flavia, I'll try and put you back as an attendee and see if we can resume your audio from there, okay? So stay there. Okay. So Flavia, try talking.
Sì,
Okay,
Okay, fine. Yes, I can hear you now.
You. Okay. Finally.
Yay, we made it.
So
Sorry
now
about this
see and
technical
hear.
issue.
That's great.
Yes.
So I leave it to you, Flavia.
Thank you very much, Chiara. First of all, thank you for explaining everything about the Amalfi Coast. I start off this presentation of NH Hotel Grand Hotel Convento di Amalfi from the cloister, church and cloister of St. Francis, because I believe that this is the true heart of our hotel, and it is really what makes it unique and different from all others. Here, you have a view of this cloister that dates back to the 13th century. As you can see, it is perfectly kept, and not only our guests can visit this anytime, day and night, but also here we have some beautiful weddings. I wish there were a way to turn, aha, there is a way. Here it is. Now you can see it much better. We also developed an app which is available for all our guests that come here, where they can compare pictures of the past to pictures of the... Yay, thanks. This is, it's supposed to be a ceramic maiolica, which is very typical of this area. So as I was saying, thanks to this app, which is available for mobile phones, any kind of mobile phone, you can compare pictures of the past to pictures of the present. For instance, this mountain that you see in front of us once used to come out much further, but then part of the rocks fell, hit the top of the cloister, which, as you can see, now is kind of cut on the side. Once it used to be a square, it used to go all the way round. This place is really full of history. I just want to show you a few details of this cloister, which our guests
I think you're losing the connection, Flavia, so just wait for it to reconnect. I know that you have to change from one room to the other.
In love with.
Okay,
here
we can see
we
it
have
now.
this fresco. Okay, so this fresco dates back to the 16th century. So as you can see, a lot of things here are very old. And this apparently was one of the very first pictures to be painted of the landscape of Amalfi. The man that you can see in the water, I'll just go a little bit closer, although I'm afraid to lose the line, is Saint Andrew, which is the saint, the patron saint protector of Amalfi. Now we're going to enter the church. I'm not sure if you can hear the music on the background. And up there on the top is where the choir used to sing. This hotel really blends together everything that you would want to find in a holiday. We have art, we have architecture, we have history, but then, of course, we have all the luxurious part of the stay. And now that's where I'm about to take you.
See the beautiful
Are we back
harbor.
online?
Yes.
I apologize. We have beautiful views, connection we can improve. So this is the view from our main terrace. This is the view that if you come here, you will enjoy during breakfast and also during your dinner. Now I'm taking you along this terrace. No, true. The monks didn't need the connection. That's the problem, see?
Yeah.
They built
the views
walls.
are amazing.
Right here, we have our love table.
Oh.
Which is normally a gift for our guests, which we know that come here for honeymoons on special occasions. So for a romantic little dinner, as you can see, it's a little further out from the rest
Okay.
of the tables. It gives more privacy. Also, many proposals have been made here, marriage proposals. We are quite proud of that.
Well, I bet
And
so. And
over
Lois
here,
is saying that she's been there twice too, and it's amazing.
good, good, thank you. Well, we always, hopefully she'll be back.
Yeah. I think we
Here
all
we
want
have
to be back in the
gardens.
Amalfi Coast at this time.
If she came a couple of years ago, then probably she will find also some changes when she comes back, because we have opened more garden areas.
Okay.
Here we have our very ancient trees. This Auracaria is 180 years old. Over here we
Wow.
have another tree, a Feoia, which is 90 years old. And of course, tours of our gardens are available for our guests, and they are very welcome to collect anything they like, if it's lemons, if it's oranges, anything at all.
Oh, that's beautiful. And just the
Now,
smell
walking
of those
along,
lemons and oranges is incredible.
yes, and you know, here in Amalfi, we cure everything with lemons. Even
Yeah.
earlier on, you were speaking about the bends on the road. They do
Yes.
say that if you smell the scent of a lemon during the drive, it makes you feel better.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
So that's a little tip in case someone does decide to take the drive and isn't the
Yeah, motion
driver.
sickness.
Then
Yeah.
it's handy to keep a lemon.
Definitely. I mean, those roads are quite windy, really. I mean, I quite love them. I've been there driving there quite a few times, but you know, if you're not used to, it's a bit scary sometimes.
And also, I think that really about the Amalfi Coast, it's so beautiful to look at it from the sea, that I
Yes.
would say that anywhere you can go by boat or by ferry, then that's the choice.
Yes,
Now
definitely.
I'm about to show you panoramic gym along our terrace. So as I was saying before, it's art, it's architecture, it's history, but we have added a touch of luxury to our hotel. We did try to think about anything that a guest would like to find here. And here is the gym. Right now it's covered because, of course, for the COVID situation, everything has to be cleaned and sanitized before use. So that's why we're keeping everything covered up now. And then when guests request it, we quickly uncover everything again.
Okay.
To avoid that many people go maybe touching and we're not aware of it.
Yes.
Now, I'm about to show you the pool area. The tables you see over here is where we serve lunch. Our La Locanda restaurant, where you will find more, it's an easy kind of menu. We have more like pizza, sandwich, very light pasta.
Okay.
While in the evening, we go like more on the fish options, which are really typical of the area.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping my colleague doesn't pop up in front of the camera.
So that's the swimming pool. Yes.
This is the infinity pool. It's the pool and the sea just blend all in one view, really.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's beautiful. Is it heated, the swimming pool?
It is, yes, it is heated.
Okay.
And we always try to keep it around 25 or 26 degrees.
Good.
Now, on the way back, we'll take a different route. We'll go through the meditation walk.
Oh, nice.
Basically, it's more gardens where our guests can spend some relaxing moments meditating. as the name says.
Yeah, well, of course.
Of course, the views help that a lot. I just want to give you also an idea of how the building is actually built high up on a cliff.
Yeah.
Although we are really close to the city center as well, it's a 10 minutes walking distance. It doesn't take longer than that, but we are high enough to be away from the chaos of the city center. But Amalfi is small, but it can get quite busy.
Yes, definitely. When did you
We're really
reopen
happy
for the summer?
Yes, this is what I was about to say. We were able to open again in June.
Okay.
We were, until May, we really had no clue of what was going to happen, if we could open or not. And luckily we are here now. We are supposed to close in January. We're actually one of the very few hotels of the Amalfi Coast which are open also during winter time.
Yeah.
But of course this year, you know, everything's a bit
strange
to see day by day. Yeah.
Yes.
We are really missing guests from USA, from UK as well, because that's our main you know, that's our mainly our clients come from those areas.
Yeah.
So we are really suffering not having them here with us. This is the meditation walk. Oranges will grow up on this tree. On the lower part of the garden, we grow all kinds of herbs like basil. We also have mint, we have majorana, and also our own grown tomatoes, aubergines. So you can even come grocery shopping.
Nice.
And here you get really a perfect view on the beauty of the building itself.
Yes, definitely.
If anyone has any questions, I'm happy to answer as well.
Yep. I was just answering about the buses, the Sita bus that goes from Amalfi to Sereno and stop in Cetara.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Suzanne is so anxious to visit in the next couple of years. I mean, really.
I will be waiting for you, because really, our lives have really changed. I mean, the fact of being here, talking to you about the hotel, imagining future journeys, it just means so much to us, really.
Yeah. And I think,
And
I mean, for us too, it's so important, you know, to still feel connected to those places, and just being able to dream and to know that, you know, in some time, you know, at some point we will be back there, and it really helps thinking that, you know, everything will get back to normal, and we will definitely get back.
We really have to stay strong, and we have to keep positive, because that's the only way.
Absolutely.
That's the only way.
There's lots of steps and stairs for you.
Yes, yes.
Yes, Janet, definitely will be a super happy moment.
Consider that all floors, of course, are connected by elevators.
Yeah.
But being an ancient monastery, the building itself has quite a particular structure, so there's steps everywhere.
Yeah.
And also the fact that the reception isn't located at the main entrance, but you have to kind of go up to the 5th floor to find the reception. I mean, when they turned the building into a hotel, they kind of had to deal with the fact that at the beginning, I mean, the structure was built to be something completely different. So of course, its features, at the beginning, its features weren't exactly those of a hotel. But I think they did quite a good job.
But I think, you know, that's what it helps, doing all those steps is what helps when you indulge in, you know, desserts and seafood and pastas and pizza and all of those. So you need a little bit of
Yeah, but
exercise.
that's really a feature of the whole Amalfi Coast. I mean,
Yes.
earlier you were talking about the path of the gods.
Yes.
Now, once you've done that, you're like allowed to have pizza for lunch and dinner
Oh
for
yes,
the
for
rest of
sure.
your stay.
I remember last time I was in Positano, and actually
Yes,
I was there doing a few site inspections, and I
yes.
don't know how many thousand steps I did in a day. I was absolutely exhausted in the evening, but I did reward
I
myself with
know.
beautiful pizza and dessert.
But you know, since our hotel is, as I was saying before, 10 minutes walking distance, so you know, it's not a long walk, but because of the steps,
Yeah,
that's part of the reason why we have a shuttle service as well. Because with the
perfect.
heat, sometimes it gets really hot here as well. So even if a walk is short, it might not be that easy.
Yes, definitely.
So it's important to make a stay for our guests very
Oh, and
comfortable.
it's nice to
And
see some
here
guests
we
there.
have more ceramics. Yeah, unfortunately, I can't go any closer
It's okay.
with the
No, no, no,
camera.
of course.
And against all odds, our hotel is actually fully booked for this month.
Oh, that's great.
So that's the reason why, unfortunately, I can't take you into any rooms.
Well, I
But
mean,
I
that's
mean,
good for you.
sorry, I lost you.
That's definitely good for you. I mean, in this situation, it's
Yeah,
great to know
yeah.
that you're fully booked.
No, we are incredibly happy. And but of course, if anyone does want any further information on rooms or any pictures, they
Yes.
can contact you, and maybe you can
Oh,
contact
yes,
me. I mean,
absolutely. Absolutely. I will be more than happy to send
make
more
it work.
information and details. Can I just ask you a question, Flavia?
Yeah.
Can you share with us what nationality are your guests for this month?
Italians.
Ah, okay. Plenty of
It's
Italians
Italians, yeah.
enjoying the Amalfi Coast now
Mainly
that,
Italians.
it's all theirs.
Well, because of course you have to consider that some restaurants and bars have also maybe lowered the price compared to the past times, you know,
Yeah.
to try to encourage families to travel as well. Because this, I have to say, in the past years, this hasn't been a very popular location for Italians.
No,
It's
no,
all
no,
so
absolutely.
I
Not at
think
all.
now they're trying to. So now I think they're
Mainly
trying
in the
to
summer.
attract
I mean, I
more like
remember,
family.
yeah, mainly, I mean, with my family, I remember going down to the Amalfi Coast usually at Easter time when there were more Italians than foreigners. But during the summer months, it's definitely more foreigners.
Yes, yes, of course. Yeah, as I was saying before, I mean, our guests are mostly from the USA and from the UK, and we
Good.
really miss you and hope you'll be able to come here soon, because you know it's
Yes.
part of the beauty of places like Amalfi is even that you feel it has also a bit of an international feeling. You know,
Yes.
I love walking in the streets and hearing foreign languages and meeting people from all over the world, and you know,
And
that's
thank you.
all very different right now, and hopefully it's back to normal very soon.
Yeah, and there's a nice message from John saying, "Trust us, we miss you guys," and we absolutely miss you. We miss you too, really. I mean, we really look forward to when you will be able to send all your clients back again, and you too will be able to come and enjoy all those beautiful places. Okay, so I want to say thank you very much, Flavia, for
Thank you as
showing
well.
us
Sorry
around the
for the
property.
problems with the connection.
No
Sorry I
worries
made
at
it a
all.
bit hard for you to follow on.
No worries at all. And so from me, sorry, that's my last slide. Oh, sorry, one message. Oh, thank you, Lisa. So thank you everyone for attending us again today. Sorry for the issues with the connection, but thank you for taking your time and bearing with us. I will prepare the recording as usual and send it to you hopefully later today, but I am leaving for my holidays tomorrow morning. So I hope I can manage to do it today. Otherwise, I'll do it in a week time.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you so much, Flavia. And oh, sorry, there's one last question. Let's see.
Okay.
Oh, blah, blah, blah. Oh, thank you, John. Grazie to you for attending. So this was the last webinar before the
Okay.
holidays.
Yeah,
Thank
you
you,
enjoy
Janet.
your holidays, no worries.
Thank you, Flavia. And I'll be in touch with you all once I'm back, second half of August, with more information about how we will continue with our webinars. We have plenty more things that we want to bring to you. So just bear with us. I will get in touch with you with more news. So thank you very much for attending us today, and have a lovely evening, have a lovely afternoon, and see you soon.